What's good YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Maha. Before I get copyrighted. What is good YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Maha, and this channel got a lot towards this Infinity 3.7 Q50 build. Currently got, as y'all can see here right now, as well as a 96 Mustang Coupe with a 2.9 3-speed manual. It's currently getting work done at the shop as we speak. It's getting paint and a whole body kit installed, so can't wait for y'all to see that soon. But as you can tell by the title today, we're going to do a nice little video of whether or not you should go E85 tune on your 3.7 Q50, Q60, but the 3.7 VQ version specifically, not the 3.0 turbos. Those are, you know, given. But yeah, man, so I'm gonna do a nice little POV. I'm gonna strap up the GoPro to the head and get this video going. So first things first, what is E85? So the name implies ethanol, ethanol, and then 85%. So 85% ethanol. Now, what is ethanol? Ethanol is basically a quarter-fed fuel that it requires a little bit more of it to burn at the same rate as 93 or regular gas. So that's the only downside that I will add on and kind of spoil it, but that's what it is. It's basically like an alcohol. So your car is basically running on alcohol, but it has a lot of benefits and some downsides, but I feel that the positives always outweigh the negatives. So I'm gonna hop into those real quick and explain more in depth with what I suggest you guys do, and depending on your budget and all that, if it's really worth it. Alright y'all, so hopping into the first, I'm gonna start off with the good first. Benefits of running E85 on your 3.7 VQ, specifically whether you have GT7, Q50, 370Z, whatever the other car that has a 3.7 specifically for, you know, VQ. I guess you could go for VQ in general, but specifically my car 3.7 VQ HR. So hopping into number one, obviously what people, you know, mainly go for is the horsepower. Now versus, you know, if you boosted versus the NA, you're not gonna get that much over whatever you get on 93. If you switch over to E85, like for example, I made about 320 wheel horsepower on 93. E85 fuel jumped me out to about 330. So around 10-15 wheel horsepower gain is what you're gonna see. But yeah, man, about 10-15 wheel horsepower, horsepower wise being over 93 is what you're gonna, you know, you're basically gonna see around there. But for low end torque and for even a top end, you're gonna feel that difference. You're gonna feel a car pull a lot harder at top end, and even just leaving from a dead stop, you're gonna feel the instant torque a lot more versus stock. You know these cars, especially 3.7s, they suffer pretty badly from pretty bad from low end torque from stock. You know, I know these cars, they suck a low end torque for digs. Don't even run this car off digs. But I've locked it up in Mexico with a couple Chargers and Challengers, and I got them from the dig. So now this car you can actually run from a dig. Certain cars, but if it's a BMW, don't even try it. If it's an all-wheel drive car, don't even try it. But no, for the most part, riding around town, going from point A to point B, getting to work, getting to school, whatever y'all do, going groceries, whatever, the car is a lot more responsive. I'll give it that. So horsepower and responsive and low end torque and high end torque, it's definitely worth it. It's not that much, like I said, it's not that much. It's not no 100 horsepower gain that you'll get if you're, let's say you're on a big turbo, you know, 3.7, you might gonna get another extra 100 horsepower over 90 premium gas, over pump gas. So yeah, man, just keep that in mind. It's not that much, but it is a difference enough to where I would justify, okay, yeah, you could go, you know, go and do it. Another benefit of running E85 on your 3.7 VQ, the smell. Now E85 has a real nice, like, it's like legit like a sweet smell, a lot better than regular gas. Premium, the 93 smell in my area actually smells pretty decent. I know they put additives and stuff in there, so I don't know. You know, mainly if I go 93, I'm running with either Sunoco or Mobil 1. Both of y'all. running 93, it doesn't have a bad smell, but I know 87 regular gas has like really stink smell. Diesel doesn't smell that good either. But the smell itself on E85 is very distinct. You ever go to like a race, if you go to like a drag race or a car event, you're gonna smell E85 at some point. It's a given. And you'll know when you smell it, because once you smell it the first time and you know it's E85, then you're just gonna be smelling it all the time. Even when you're driving around town, there's some cars already on the road that come from factory flex fuel sensors or whatever, and they run E85, and you'll smell it here and there. I've smelled it a couple times with like F-150s, because those are flex fuel. Even Malibus I've seen pull up at the E85 pump because of flex fuel. So, you know, it helps. That smell, especially when you're running test pipes, and that the fumes is a lot stronger while you're driving. That smell is a lot, I guess, more healthy for the environment, and a lot better too for your sake. So, because you gotta sit down, especially when you roll windows down and stuff, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna smell it. So, might as well have a good smell. So, another reason why you should run E85 on your 3.7, it actually has a cleaning effect. So versus 93 premium gas, whatever you run in your town, if it was 191, 93 or whatever, compared to E85 actually it's a cleaner fuel. So it actually, while it's running through your system, your fuel system, your motor, all that, it actually cleans everything out. So it cleans the lines, it cleans your injectors, it cleans the motor itself, and it actually prolongs the life of the motor later on. Now, I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, or if someone can really, get into that whole thing down in the comments there. I've heard here and there that if you're running E85 too much, that it can potentially clog your injectors. Not sure how true that is. So to counteract that, they say to run 93 every couple of tanks, so it keeps the fuel system, I guess the injectors, from clogging up. But then I've heard that E85 actually has a cleaning effect, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you have any kind of experience with that, drop it in a comment down below, and educate everyone else. Feel free. Overall, it does have a cleaning effect on your motor. So you want to clean your motor, you want to keep the prolong the longevity of your engine and your car, then go ahead, throw it on E85. Obviously, make sure you get the tune first. You can't just throw E85 in your tank and then run it like that. Please keep that in mind. You cannot just run E85 in your car. It won't. And if it's not tuned for it, if you don't have separate maps for it from your tuner, you're gonna have issues. Another reason why you should go E85. Back to the motor-wise benefits for the motor. It actually has a cooling effect, believe it or not. So 93 has a lot less knock resistance versus E85. E85 has a lot stronger knock resistance, so your engine won't work as hard as it would on 93. And that effect, it actually cools down the engine while it's being ran through the systems. So cool engine means oil temps, cool motor temps, cool everything, coolant, all that. And again, when the cooler you keep your car, you guys know, the more horsepower you actually are able to pull out of your motor. So again, that's why when you run an E85, you pull more horsepower versus when you're just on regular pump gas. So cooling effect, definitely worth it. Not so much on NAs, like I said, but on boosted platforms, yeah, that's a must. You want to keep your car as cool as possible and keep the turbos and everything as cool as possible. And last reason why I think you should go run E85, benefits. The price, man. Believe it or not, you would think, oh, all these benefits, this fuel must be the most expensive fuel at the pump. Now, depending on your location, it's gonna be the cheapest in your area. Actually, it's gonna be even cheaper than 93, or cheaper than 87, I should say. Cheaper than regular gas, believe it or not. Last time I paid about $2 something. I can't remember last time I paid $2 something to fill up on gas. Well, I think I won my Honda Accord, and that was like in 2016. When I had my Honda Accord in 2016, 2015, I was putting regular gas in that car, and I only paid like $2 something, $3 something max. now you're paying almost $4 or $5 a gallon for, you know, 93. I know y'all hurting at the pump sometimes when y'all go out there, gotta drop like 70, 80 bucks, almost 100 bucks on gas. Again, depending where you live, you might be paying a lot more than me. I'm probably average of where my area is here right now. So yeah, man, it's just a lot cheaper. Now that's gonna be a good and a bad thing. Not really a bad thing, but it's gonna be a good thing for overall. You know, the price is always gonna be lower. Now the reasons that I've researched is that it's taxed a lot less since it's a environmental fuel versus all these other gas companies that have to use, you know, all these other fossil fuels and all their ingredients that they have to put in within their fuels to make it regulation ready and regulation stated and all that, and make sure that it's approved by the state. But E85, like I said, it's corn. It's literally corn. Like, it's corn derived from cornfields. So you're not gonna have any kind of crazy tax on it. Now the demand is not as high as 93, so that's another thing too. Demand is a lot higher for regular gas, obviously, regular premium, regular pump gas, versus E85. Now a lot of cars are running E85 from factory. Now just keep that in mind. You know, the price is lower because the demand is lower and the cost of making it and all that is a lot lower versus the 93. All right, now we're gonna hop into some negatives. With the good, there's always some bad, right? So hopping into number one, first bad thing about E85, or downfall, I should say bad thing, but downfall or downside of E85. It's not readily available everywhere. Depending on where you live, before you even think about tuning on E85, like say you decide, yeah, I want to do 85, yeah, take a drive through your town, couple 10 miles, 20 miles max, maybe 30 miles, whatever, depending on how far you plan on driving, just to fill up your car. But keep in mind, not everywhere has E85 readily available. In my area specifically, I have a good amount of pumps that have E85 within my 10-mile radius, so I don't have to worry about that. That's another reason why I want E85. And the E85 in my area is actually pretty high in the content. You want to make sure of that too. So if you have, you know, a couple dollars, whatever, go get yourself a E85 tube tester. I'll put a link down in the description below so y'all could be easier for y'all to look it up. Get one of those, go to the E85 station and actually look at the contents. So what you do is you fill it up to the line where it says water, and then the rest with E85, and then it will actually balance out on the little scale, the built-in little scale it has on the tube itself, and tell you exactly how much E85 content is in there. So you want as close to 85% as possible. So 85, that means you're on fully 85. Anything low like E30, or like my home dog, he has an Evo. He told me specifically, he was like, even if it's, you know, high, whatever, but if it's cloudy, don't fill it up. You could damage your motor, and that's not good quality E85 to put into your car for it to run. But yeah, man, you know, just again, double check in your area, see who has your E85, how much they're charging and all that kind of crap for it, and see if it's readily available in your area first before you even think about it, because it makes no sense if you gotta drive an hour, 2 hours, or if not even available within your state, then that's not even, you know, it's pointless. That makes the decision easier for you right there to go E85 or not. Now, kind of piggybacking off of the positive, what I said, that the price is cheaper. Yes, the price is cheaper, but you're gonna be at the pump a lot more frequently. Now, to give y'all a little bit more perspective, I'm at about quarter tank right now. It burns, from what Martin, my tuner, said at RSEnthalpy. I'll put his link down in the description below. He said it burns about 10 to 50% quicker than regular pump gas. Now you're really not gonna notice that unless you're just driving normally. Like right now, I was having him in regular drive, let the car shift for itself. You know, if you're just chilling, driving daily, you know, going to work, going to school, going to groceries, running errands, all that, you're really not gonna notice that difference if you're just chilling, cruising, not really speeding. But if you got a heavy foot, if you're always in manual mode, upshift and downshift, and especially within city limits, you're gonna burn through that a lot quicker versus 93 or pump gas. Now, to put in perspective, last time I topped off E85 was Thursday night, and it's already Sunday, and I'm already at a quarter tank. Now, granted, the other night I was actually shooting flames. I was trying to do more content with the flames. I'm gonna have more flame content coming for y'all. I had some people ask me about that, so I'm gonna try to get more flame content for y'all. Let's see, so y'all can see how the car be shooting flames and stuff. But yeah, you know, that could actually, you know, be a make or break for some people, because if you're constantly at the pump, then, you know, again, depending on your driving, if you got a really heavy foot, I wouldn't even suggest to do it. If you gotta be, you know, you're gassing it all the way, hitting 100 and shit all the way down your regular streets, then don't even do it. Don't even think about E85, because, like I said, it will burn a lot quicker. Like I said, it's already, so I filled up Thursday. It's only Sunday. How many days is that? And it's already a quarter tank. Now, if I run that quarter tank, that will probably last me another maybe 2 days if I just chill. But like I said, when I was running that flame map, I was doing it for a couple minutes to get some good shots on the highway. It affects your supply that you have running, I should say. Just keep that in mind, you know, that especially if you're doing flame map a lot, driving up shifting, down shifting, you got a heavy foot, then yeah, it's gonna burn out quicker. So just keep that in mind. Now, another downside of E85, your cold starts specifically are going to be a little different. Just keep that in mind. It's going to be a little different. It's not like, you know, you hit the button and it's going to start instantly like when you're on regular pump gas. E85, like how I said in the benefits, it keeps the car engine cooler, right? So it runs cooler. E85 itself runs a lot cooler. So with that being said, it's going to take a little minute for it to kick in and warm up to actually start your car. Now, it's not going to take too long, but depending on like these high horsepower cars, like those big turbo 2,000 horsepower, you know, Supras and GTRs and all that, they might take like 30 seconds or not even a couple of tries for the car to actually turn over. Now, again, this is a NA platform, so it's you're only gonna hear like a slight hard start. So the car is you're gonna hear the car turning over a couple times than normal, and then it will start. It might even have like a little rough start. That's perfectly normal. Don't worry about it. Your tuner will adjust that timing, so it will, you know, it will start the car properly and on time. So I've never had issues with car starting or anything. Now, when it gets colder, keep in mind when you're on E85, if you're running E85 when the end temperature is a lot colder outside, it might take a little bit longer to start too. So just keep that in mind. Starting your car is not going to be the same as if you're on pump gas. Now, hop into the last reason why you might not want to go E85 on your 3.7 VQ. Q50, 370Z, whatever. You're building a car for horsepower. So now, if you're planning to boost the car, yeah, go 85 or by all means. But if you're planning just to keep the car simple, bolt-ons, whatever, bolt-ons E85, you're not gonna get as much as if you were on a boosted platform. If you're really chasing numbers, don't even do it. Just save your money and go get a car that has, like, if you want to go the 3.0T route, or if you're planning to get another car that will benefit a lot better with horsepower on the 85, then save your money and do that. I would suggest you do that versus throwing money on this and then getting disappointed when you only gain maybe 10 wheel horsepower. You know, for the guys who are running high horsepower, that's nothing. That's that's nothing for them. So you know, you tell them, oh, you gain 10 horsepower, you know, some of them is gonna laugh at you or whatever. But like I said, this car, I'm not building it for horsepower, so I just want to pull as much as I can from the car with full bolt-ons in the 85. This is basically the max you can do until you start doing forced induction with supercharger, turbo, you know, the whole nine. You know, start building the motor, throwing forged pistons in there, building a trans, swapping the trans to maybe a 7-speed manual. You know, at that point it's starting to, you know, add up. And now with this platform, the power versus price ratio, it really is not worth it for me. So that's why I really, not right now, planning to build this car for horsepower. I'm just building it for night, you know, decent power, decent daily power, reliably, and looks good show car. This is basically just a show car, you know, going to car shows and all that. Yeah, as you can see, the way the car is set up, carbon fiber, everything on there. So I really ain't trying to go crazy with racing this car. So just keep that in mind. You know, the horsepower is not going to be as much as if you're on a turbo car. Really quick, today's shout out goes to actually my neighbor, man, Armando. I'll put his ad right here so y'all can see him. Appreciate your support, dog. He actually has a G37 that he's starting to build too. I actually kind of motivated him to start building it. He really wasn't trying to build it, but then he saw my videos, started supporting the channel, and now he's kind of motivated now to start doing stuff. I think he just did paddle shifters. He's looking to get wheels, and then he's gonna repaint it soon. So I can't wait to see what you do to Armando, man. Appreciate your support and everything. And shout out to your family too that has that Q. I think he said he was a Red Sport. Yeah, I think it was a Red Sport that he got, that his family member had picked up recently, and he started building his car too. I believe he's watching my videos too. Subscribe. Shout out to you as well. I can't remember your name, but shout out to you as well, man. And again, Armando, appreciate your support, man. Appreciate you watching the videos, and you know, local support from my neighbors, man. I love it. So yeah, man. And again, thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you got hit that bell notifications, get notified every time I post a video. And that being said, man, my name is Maha. Be blessed, stay safe, drink y'all water, don't get into too much trouble. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. All right, peace.